Hi, I'm Sue Miller from the Wisconsin Automobile and Truck Dealers Association, and this video will address a common tax question. How do use taxes work on dealership vehicles? If you're a motor vehicle dealer in Wisconsin, you know you can purchase vehicles for resale without paying sales tax. You can use them for retention, demonstration, or display tax-free. But what happens when you use those vehicles for other purposes? That's when use tax comes into play. First, let's clarify what triggers use tax. Any use beyond retention, demonstration, or display makes you liable for use tax. This includes both business and personal use, such as running errands for parts and supplies, salesperson transportation, or transportation for owners, partners, or officers. The tax calculation depends on which of three categories your vehicle use falls into. Category 1 uses a simple per plate calculation. This applies when vehicles held for sale are assigned to specific dealer employees who have federal income tax withholding or to owners who actively participate in daily dealership operations. For 2025, the taxable amount is $203 per month per plate. For 2026, it increases to $208. You multiply this amount by your local use tax rate to get what you owe. What does actively participate mean? The person must perform services like selling, accounting, managing, or consulting for more than 500 hours per year and receive compensation. This doesn't include passive investor activities like just reviewing financial statements. Common examples include automobiles assigned to salespersons who use them for personal traveling like commuting, vehicles assigned to controllers and other employees with tax withholding who use them for personal travel, and vehicles assigned to sole proprietors, partners, shareholders, or LLC members who are actively running the dealership and use vehicles personally. Category 2 uses the IRS lease value table. This applies to vehicles held for sale, but not assigned to employees with tax withholding or qualifying active owners. You calculate use tax on the lease value for the period the vehicle is used beyond retention, demonstration, or display. Examples include courtesy shuttles transporting customers, vehicles assigned to dealership owners who don't actively participate in daily operations, vehicles used by family members who aren't employees with withholding or active owners, vehicles assigned to officers or directors without withholding status, and vehicles provided to nonprofits, municipalities, coaches, or celebrities. If the vehicle is only used this way for part of a month, you can prorate the lease value to reflect the actual usage period. Category 3 is straightforward. For vehicles not held for sale that are properly capitalized for income or for franchise tax purposes, you pay use tax on the sales price you paid to acquire the vehicle. This includes tow trucks not held for sale, parts trucks, vehicles used to haul others to auctions, snowplows, and antique vehicles held for promotional purposes. Finally, let's tackle mixed use with a real example. Your dealership purchases a vehicle for $12,000 for resale. You use it 40% of the time to pick up parts and 60% as a service rental, generating $400 in rental receipts during the month. Here's the tax calculation. First, state sales tax on the rental receipts. That's $400 times 5%, which equals $20. Second, state use tax on the lease value for the parts pickup. Assuming an annual lease value of $3,600, divide by 12 months to get $300 monthly, multiply by 40% taxable use to get $120, and then multiply that by the 5% tax rate. That's $6 in use tax. The total combined state tax for the month is $26. Of course, you have to also calculate tax for your local taxes, county and municipal if applicable. It's important to note that the use tax paid on lease value cannot offset the sales tax due on rental receipts. These are separate tax obligations that must both be paid. Keep detailed records of how you use your inventory vehicles throughout the year. The Department of Revenue adjusts the per plate amounts annually based on inflation. For the current amounts and complete IRS lease value, refer to watda.org Dealer Resources page and the Wisconsin Department of Revenue's Publication 202. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions or ideas for a short video topic, please feel free to contact me at 608-251-8024 or by email at smiller@watda.org.